go. 1.
Easy. Cool, and welcome aboard. First video of the year. I want to bring aboard a special guest, goes by the name of Marissa. So you mind introducing yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Marissa. I'm super passionate about fitness, health, and well-being, and we're really here to empower women to get them into the gym so that they can be their best and strongest selves.
Yeah, so Marissa is the perfect fit for the channel. She's just as passionate about training as I am. You know, I saw her RDL videos, all that type of stuff online. I'm like, look, gotta get her on the channel and just spread the positivity and spread the message of getting stronger, especially for women. There's a lot of women, they think that they have to baby weights, but if you really want to grow a better physique, you got to lift heavy. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Today's episode, the whole theme is the RDL, aka the Romanian deadlift. This is the king of posterior chain builders. If you want to really thicken up the whole backside of the body, this is definitely where you want to start. So I know there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of confusions. A lot of people, they're in the new gym environment with the New Year's resolutions. They don't know where to start. This is a great place to start. This is a lift for beginners all the way to the most advanced. We're going to break it down in this video. So we're going to start off with the barbell. Okay. So first things first, this is a hinging pattern. So it's a pure hinge. You want to load up the hamstrings. You want to load up the glutes. And this is the best way to do it. So in the past, I've spoken about having a stick on someone's back or having, for example, a half roller. But I've actually changed my ways of thinking about this exercise because you don't need that approach. So for example, if I put this half roller on her back, and let's just say she's a very extended individual, it's hard for her to keep a more neutral back because there's such a big gap here. And also if somebody has very developed glutes, very developed upper back, it just throws this whole drill in the garbage. So I don't really like to use it. Some people use it from the front. It's a viable option as well, but I have a very simple way of just explaining it. So basically, if you look at Marissa's legs, you want to show them a locked knee. This is locked. This is a stiff leg deadlift. That's a completely different video. Then you've got the soft knee. This is what we want to maintain through the RDL. And then you've got the bent knee. This is going to be like more of a deadlift, which is a completely different video altogether. This is the RDL, so we want the medium is the message. We're staying in the middle. She wants to maintain these soft knees the whole time. So now all we're going to do is we're going to tempo the lift and we're going to pause the lift to really own the range of motion properly. So we're just going to grab the bar. Okay. So all I want to do here is I want her to push her hips back until she can't push the hips back anymore. Okay. So think like you have a glass of water and you're trying to tip it over with your glutes. So you want to just touch the roller right there. So we don't need more than that. Some people will go lower, so go lower. It's a lot of erectors, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but the way I personally teach the RDL is once the hips can no longer go back, show it again. Pause, so you own it. You can own it for 1 to 3 seconds at the bottom to really fully stretch out the hamstrings, fully stretch out the glutes, and then all you have to do is reverse the motion. Boom. Okay, so this is all like, nice in theory, but as the weights start getting heavier, we want to do what's called delay the knee extension. So pretend there's like, a couple 100 pounds on this bar. What's going to happen is she's going to go down, and then as she's coming up, she's going to extend the knees. And now the lower back is going to finish the movement. So we don't want that. We want to stay true to the repetitions and the form. We want to do what's called standardize the repetitions. So when you standardize, they all look the same. You could film it from the side, and they always look very repetitive by nature. The only difference between the first repetition and the last repetition is that the last one just looks a little bit slower. Having worked with different populations at different ages, different backgrounds, different goals, all these types of factors, people come in different shapes and sizes. People have different mobility and access to certain movement options. So basically, I'll give you two ends of the spectrum. You have some individuals who are extremely extended, very flared rib cage, huge arch in the low back, and when they do the RDL, they feel a lot of the low back. Then you have other people where it's excessive on the other side, where there's way too much rounding in the lower back, and even the upper back as well. So ideally, it's not the end of the world if you have some upper back rounding, but once the lower back starts rounding, you don't need that. So I'm going to tackle it on from both sides. So let's just show the example of someone who's extremely extended without the block. okay? So extend forward, and then you just hinge back. You don't need to be this extended on RDL. It's not necessary. Okay, so for individuals like that, I can talk all day long. It's not really gonna do as much of a good job as a tactile reference. So I like to just grab a med ball, doesn't have to be heavy, and now she's gonna get that contraction in the upper back, really reach, okay, to the soft knees. And now she has more of that neutral spine that we're after. She's gonna feel less low back, more glutes, more hamstrings. So I would use this as a prep drill. She would do 2 sets of like 10 to 15 reps, really drill it, nail the tempo, nail the pauses. And then from there, if we jump into the RDL after that, there's a higher likelihood that it's gonna look more neutral and more dialed in. Okay, so you drop that. So now there's the opposite end of the spectrum where people, they're just way too flex forward. So we don't want to be in that situation either. So one drill I like, shout out to my coach, Kyle Wag, for putting me this on. It's basically an isometric. So if, for example, you have an individual who is extremely flexed, even in the low back, okay, so just show them. We don't want this. So what I would basically do to cue this is I would put them on the pins, and now you want to extend your back. Okay, right there. And there's no weight on the bar, but she's actively pulling into the pins. And this is basically gonna help Marissa own the range of motion and feel comfortable here with little weight. So just a bang for your buck way to just drill the right movement, and you could hold it for 10 to 30 seconds, and you could use this as prep work as well. And then when you jump into your RDL, it's gonna feel a lot better, and you might even feel stronger as well. Okay, so now you guys got a basic idea of what the RDL is. So now Marissa and I, we're gonna jump into some working sets, just have a good time, and just show you guys in real time what it is to actually train the RDL pattern. So we're gonna train the hamstrings, so let's get into it.
It's definitely an exercise you want in all of your leg days.
Okay, so me personally, I do this barefoot. Gotta treat the feet, you know, it feels better. I have a better reference to the ground when I do it barefoot. So if you guys feel like you don't feel that grounded, try just taking the shoes off, you know? So you guys have seen the process. We're getting into the warm-up sets. The whole point of a warm-up set is to get to the destination with the least amount of fatigue possible. So we're just doing a plate and a quarter, leaving some in the tank. See, nice soft knees, hips back. So as you guys can see, second warm-up set. You guys must have the straps. This isn't a grip contest. I'm trying to train my hamstrings, my glutes. I also I'm trying to keep the bar close to my shins. So if I'm pulling too much, shins are just gonna bleed. So I just put my knee sleeves on my shins.
Yeah.
So Marissa's on a working set, let's go. 1, there you go, let's go. 2, let's go. You're good, right there.
Let's go, you got this. Easy. Action.
Let's go.
Don't knock until you try it.
All right, let's go. Honestly, let's put it back. All right, so working set, let's go. Easy. Not there?
No, it's too heavy. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2. Come on, I know you got some more. 3. 1 more. 4. Are we going for 5?
Basically, the set that you just saw me do, this is not to get a pump. This is really to overload my hamstrings, overload my glutes, so I had the belt, so I have the straps. I'm not trying to think about anything else, but just overloading the key areas with the pauses. So now we do the back down set, 8 to 10 reps. And this, you'll get more of a pump, and it's more of that quote unquote hypertrophy work, if you will. We're just working a slightly higher rep range. So Marissa's gonna do a plate and a quarter. Go. Let's go. Easy 8 to 10. 1, 2. There you go. 3, 4, 5. There you go. Let's go. Nice pause. 6, 7. You got 10. You got 10. Keep it close. Stop, use the whole time. Let's go. Stop at 10. Good job.
People love that. It's more natural.
Yeah, you gotta keep it raw, organic,
Whew. That was great?
Yeah, solid.
Gives you a good pump.
For sure.
That's what we like to see.
100%. Okay, so I'm gonna.
The glutes are feeling nice and pumped.
Yeah. Are they actually?
They are.
To be real with you, I actually feel like as far as crazy pumps are concerned, like single leg work.
Yeah.
I do single leg, like if I do like a split squat, a Bulgarian split squat, like that single leg RDL, which we're gonna do a set there, like it's gonna be bananas,
like the V stands or like the split stands.
Exactly.
You put girls like really appreciate a guy who has a nice butt. Like nobody wants a guy whose back goes all the way down to his legs. Guys like don't think it's important to do hip thrusts and RDLs and train their glutes, but gives you first of all, it makes your physique look so good, and every girl will appreciate that.
Yeah.
The same way guys, appreciate a girl who has a good physique, who has good glutes, goes the same way.
For sure. The way I see it is like, you're gonna be in the gym anyways, So why settle for mediocrity? Why just maintain? You could just build, What's like me? I want the whole package, I want the calves, I want forearms, neck, you name it, I want it all. So it's like,
absolutely.
So if I'm gonna train my calves, why not I'm gonna train my RDL?
Yeah. And all the glute exercises that strengthen your glutes, that enhance your glutes, they strengthen your hamstrings, they strengthen your quads. So it's so important to have like a well-balanced, leg exercises and everything, because it really helps all the other muscles, helps prevent injuries too. So
yeah,
can't be neglecting the glutes.
Big notes. Went over the double-legged RDL. Now it's time to talk about single leg. And this is often, one that gets neglected. People talk so much about lunges and split squats, but the single leg RDL is really an underrated exercise that people don't really talk about. But it should be talked about more, because if you have one hamstring and one glute a lot larger, you want to compensate by doing some single leg work. If you have, for example, an RDL and somebody's shifting their hips more on one side, you could help correct this with the single leg version. So the problem with the single leg version, a lot of people, they turn it to a balancing act. Like, it's just not stable enough. You're not going to get much out of it. So Marissa's going to show you what most people do. You have the leg in the air, and it's just flimsy, it's awkward. We don't want that. So we want to have references, and the best way to do that is just to hold onto the pole. So she grabs onto the pole, and now she's not going to have that back leg in the air. She's actually having in a calf raise position, but 90% of the weight is on the front leg. And this one's just here for stability. She's going to grab a contralateral load, like so. Here she's getting a crazy stretch in one hamstring at a time. I personally use a lot of the contralateral load because the loading potential for this is really high. And once it starts getting a lot higher, you'll notice that it just starts to rub against the other leg. So I like to just keep it close, but keep it on the other hand. So, but you could also do it in the ipsilateral style as well, which is the same leg. Okay, so you can actually demonstrate that right there. So you could also have same leg. It's another way to do it as well. Okay. From the single leg variation where you're holding the pole, you could transition into that if you're looking for more variety or you don't want to be holding onto a pole. You could use 2 dumbbells. So Marissa's going to show you. Okay, so she's really heavy on that front leg. She's maintaining that soft knee right here. And she's loading more of one at a time. Very low back friendly, so I'll actually use this for certain individuals who have some back issues and they want to still RDL without as much spinal load. So that's basically it. So that wraps up the video. We showed you guys different compensations people fall into with the RDL, give you some basic cues on how to really get the most output out of your hamstrings and your glutes. We showed you guys some fun little working sets, and we walked through the single leg variations as well. So appreciate you being on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
Show the page some love on IG, and we'll see you guys next time.
And don't forget your RDLs.